So we're kind of at a standstill as far as producing more videos from a training aspect until I get a drawing tablet and a laptop and also a camera. Okay. The camera is necessary not to put my pretty face on screen, and which will also give me the some time to actually find my pair of clippers, so you can actually see me without my big old bushy hair. All right, it's the concept of looking at the screen as I'm showing you. Okay. What's happening on the equipment as far as a LED perspective. Okay, that is crucial. Okay, this is something that I did with my original first channel and separated training from an aspect that people were just like, wow. All right, so that is crucial. We're going to do that again. And I have to wait until I start getting a couple of paychecks under my belt. Which, hey, guess what? My first day, okay, is Monday. Hell yeah, tomorrow morning, ladies and gentlemen. And it's almost 5 o'clock, quarter of, or 20 of, 19 of, if you want to be specific, to 5 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. And boy, am I ecstatic, okay? There's one thing to be a consultant and just starting a new contractor. A contract. There's another thing to have the job that has the potential of long term and being your dream job. Regardless, let's say this job, okay, lasted 6 months. Okay, within a 6-month period, all right. If the job is something that is different, okay. All right, let's say it's your first job at a hospital, okay? All right, you got certain rules and regulations in the hospital or the health community, or I should say the health industry as a IT person, okay? There are certain rules and regulations you must follow. There are certain compliances that must be done on your network, okay, based on government guidelines, okay, maybe HIPAA, okay, all right, and certain things need to be followed, like maybe traffic coming from one hospital to another must be encrypted, okay, all right, breaking those rules becomes a HIPAA violation, okay, and I'm not saying that's the case, okay, I'm just saying that your director of the IT department will be able to be the one to actually make sure you're within those compliances, okay? And if he or she doesn't, they need to really hop on the ball, okay? However, they will learn very quickly, okay? Because when an audit is done, which they cannot avoid, and find out that's not being done, very quickly is the hospital, powers that be will find out. Okay? So, one of the things that I want to explain to you is, alright, remember when I said, if you find yourself to be the smartest person in the room, find a new room. Okay? It's always been my philosophy. Alright? You do not learn and grow from being the smartest person in the room. Okay? Creating a persona of your intellect of being the smartest person in the room, okay, shows an individual with an intellect how fake you truly are. Alright? You can fake the ones underneath your level of intelligence or intellect, but you're not going to fake someone above. Think of intellect as a series of the power of moving from one dimension to a higher one. okay, 2D beings, okay, on a two-dimensional plane, all right, cannot see the three-dimensional beings on the higher level. However, 3D beings can see and look down onto the 2D. Same thing as fourth-dimensional beings, okay, all right, they can exist. We would never know. All right, we would have no way of being able to be on that dimensional level to be able to understand them. Okay, all right. Intellect is something that everybody is on some type of level. Okay, all right, and on that level, all right, you quickly, all right, the higher you go, you're quickly able to see the lower bullshit. And that's exactly what I call it, the lower bullshit. Alright? Okay. You do something as a senior guy. Okay? Alright? Now, you know what your job is as a senior. You know what your responsibilities are. You start pushing back to management on something that you know is going to be an issue. Okay? Alright? I give you a perfect example. All right. When I actually went to, on one of my contracts, when I actually went to the supervisor, okay, which would be my manager, that individual should never have been a manager in the first place. Okay. All right. And what ends up happening is when you're providing your intellect, your training, your guidance, your helpfulness, your kindness, okay, because this is who you are, to lower engineers or lower junior network admins, okay, they start elevating you to a level that, okay, well, you know, I have been trying to reach your manager, man, for a month. He never responds to emails. He never replies. When I go to him face to face, he always tells me, you know, okay, let me look into that and give you an answer by close of business today. And he never responds. He goes, all right, Colin, you go out of your way to chase me down once you heard that there's an issue and, you know, we ran into a roadblock. Okay, you're coming to me. I don't have to come to you. You're the one that should be the manager. Okay, that's what ends up happening based on the relationship that has been built and the rapport has been built over time. Okay, all right, without you mentioning it. But of course, when the rumor gets around, okay, all right, obviously that particular person is going to blame you for walking in your mouth and creating gossip and talking bad about him, all right, saying that you should be the manager, all right? And that's not the case. All you're doing is doing your job, all right? So, you know, you get to see the bullshit, okay? And when you're pushing back and saying, no, we can't do that, man, okay? And matter of fact, I'm not going to do it. It's, you know, and the manager is like, what do you mean you're not going to do it, okay? I was like, do you understand what you're asking my team to do, okay? All right, which I understand I'm on your team, all right? And I understand that this is what you're telling me to do as an order, but the reason for this project, okay, all right, is to be within the compliance of HIPAA law. And what you're asking me to do breaks that law. It's the opposite of what we're supposed to be doing. Okay, so no, we're not doing that. Okay, all right, now this individual, okay, my manager did not see this as such, okay, and says, Kyle, I understand your point of view and you're right, okay, all right, but you're also having a direct order from your manager, and you also got to understand, we've been doing this since the beginning before you even got here. Okay, this is how we've been solving this problem. It's a temporary band-aid, and we will fix the issue, okay, to be within that compliance. Okay, so, please, handle this. My answer is still no, because it's not you okay, that's going to lose their job or get arrested or have fines or whatever. It's me. And it clearly states in the documentation that I signed that I will not, okay, under any circumstances, do things that will end up breaking the compliance of this particular rule. So no, I'm not, okay? All right? Now, under law, I have that right. This is, and not to mention the fact, this is a breach of security too, okay? And I take security very seriously, which the only way to do that, to be able to take it very seriously, is to have some concept of what security really is in place for and why it's important. Okay, there have been contracts that, okay, all right, nobody brings their badge to work because there's no sense of security in that building. You need badges to get in, and when you can't get in, you can just have somebody else that let you into the door. All right, that's one company. There's another company I worked for, okay, that the security manager, okay, if he sees you tailgating, that's what it's called, you're not, if you go through a door and the person before you swipes their badge, okay, all right, that person can hold the door for you, yes, but you still have to swap your badge even though the door is open, okay? And the security, if the head of security or even the security people on that crew see you do that, that's a security violation, okay? They will bring you into the office. They will hunt you down, run after you. Okay, all right. This place was so secure that there was one set of crew on a particular floor. Okay, that had live dogs patrolling the hallway where the elevators were. Yes, I'm not kidding. All right. You're not getting on that floor without having your ass bit. All right, that was their sense of security. That's how serious it was. All right, so all right, and hey, I'm telling you, you don't believe me? I'm sorry, it's the truth. Never have I seen that ever again. All right, it was only on one floor. That was their floor. Okay, and that's how they decided with cameras. Armed guards, okay, and live Doberman pictures or whatever dogs they had in there. I think it was German Shepherds and Dobermans, okay, all right, freely walking the floor, okay. And I've never seen anything like it, okay. All right, but you know that gave me an experience that is unique in itself, okay. Now, you get 3 security violations, whatever they are, all right? Okay, security violations can be you sending an email with your personal information, okay? All right, some phishing email, okay? That's a security violation. You get 3 security violations in a year. You are fired. There is no appeal. There's no nothing. You're done. How? Now, here's the cool thing about that, okay? All right? Here is the cool thing. They understand that people are valuable and people make mistakes, okay? And security is not something that is on someone's mind consistently. They got enough on their mind, okay? And it's their job to make the individual self-aware of why security is important. So what they do is you get a security violation, okay? All right? The cool thing is you could take security training, things of that nature that they provide, okay, and that action alone, once you pass the actual course, okay, you get to remove one of your security violations, which is cool as hell. Let's say you had 2 violations and you know one more, you're done, okay, and you got 6 months out of the year, all right? You can go to the security team, talk to them and say, hey, how do I get one of these security violations knocked off? I don't want to lose my job this year, all right? And they would tell you what to do, all right? Hey, you need to go to this, 4-hour training, at this facility, or you need to take this video course, self-paced, okay, it has to be completed by this date once I sign you up, okay, and that will free one of your violations to be null, okay, NULL. And now, because of that, all right, then you'll have 2 more violations that will get you fired, okay? So, pretty cool in that aspect, all right? Now, when you go to hire a professional, okay, all right, and I have fought with this my entire life, okay, all right? Now, Kyle, I understand you're doing this project, but you got to worry about this. I don't have to worry about crap, okay? That's why I hired a professional, because I don't know anything about this subject. Now, let's say with my building project, any heating, air conditioning thing that's in a sense of something I want to develop, I can do, okay? I can install it. I can repair it, okay? So I don't care, okay, about that part. I know from experience what to do and what is. I'm an ex-electrician, okay? I've done residential and commercial work for years. It was literally my career, okay? I've had 4 careers in my life. One of them is heating and air conditioning. One of them is electrical, okay? So I've been on the blue-collar side, all right, giving me a sense of ethics and responsibility from my perspective, being the actual mechanic that I want to be, okay? And that has definitely bled off into the networking field, as that is one of my careers, okay? And my 4th career was computers, okay? You know, so I've had literally 4 careers in my life, but also, okay, you gotta ask yourself, well, shit, Kyle, what the hell have you done for fun? This is my fun. All right, this is me working is my fun. Okay, all right. Every career I've had has been chosen by me, handpicked. Okay, based on my desire or whatever. All right, I can tell you what, I don't know why. I just knew back in the day when I was 16 years old, all I wanted to be was an electrician. Okay, all right, that's all I wanted to be. I drove from Annapolis to Virginia. If you have any idea how long of a drive that is, to get from Annapolis to DC will probably take about 20 minutes to go through traffic. So it's about a 45 to an hour and a half drive every day one way due to traffic. Okay. Luckily, I had to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning, so I will get there. Always the first person on the site. All right. As a matter of fact, okay, we had an individual that will always show up late, 5 minutes late at least. Okay, he said, "Look, guys, we ain't got time for this crap. All right, we're on a mandated, okay, we're on a mandated schedule. Okay, and if I can have one of my crew members, okay, coming from Annapolis, and it's always the first one here and the last one to leave, okay, you being late when you're 10 minutes down the road is unacceptable. All right, okay, you gotta understand something. When you are the person that you are, and it reflects who you are, okay, and it's either going to be a positive or negative, and it's not going to be neutral, right? You can sit in the background, okay, because that's normally what I do. All right, I'm sitting in the background. I do not spend my energy or my time emailing my manager, telling my manager what I did, okay, and how I saved the day. I have zero tolerance for that type of energy. Okay, I don't need to do that. My confidence is not so shattered that I have to bring to somebody's attention how great I am. Okay, all right. Not to mention the fact I don't want that. I don't want that exposure. Okay, I like being left alone. Seriously. I like doing my job, and I don't like being bothered. I don't need a bunch of standing ovations. Okay? All right? And I'm serious. I like to be left alone. I don't need to be recognized. Now, don't get me wrong. Okay? There was one contract that I worked on, and I was there for 2 years. Okay? As a matter of fact, I got hired on full time. After 6 months or a year, I can't remember. All right? And they have a sense of recommendations, okay, or I should say, God, what are those damn things? Certifications. You know, a certification sheet or I can't remember the name, and, you know, like a certificate of completion when you go through a course. But it's a recognized document or a recognized certificate. Okay. All right, you know those things that you buy off as a template offline, or you can copy off of Google, where it has a nice little design squared around the page. All right, to give to show that it's an award. That's what it is. I'm sorry, that's the name I'm looking for. Okay, it's an award. All right, an award of accomplishment. Okay, and when I worked for that particular company, man, that was awesome as shit. Okay, and when I got my first one, because what ends up happening is, you're not really looking for it. Okay, and you're sitting in the meeting, and every 3 weeks or something like that, we would have a meeting, an award meeting, where the manager would actually say, okay, hey, your teammate, blah, 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 has gotten a reward, you know, for greatness, okay, for doing the project here and meeting it within the timeline, okay, all right. So when I got my first one, man, I didn't realize how important it was for me to receive that award, okay, from the perspective that when I got it, I was not expecting it. I was side blasted, okay, having my name mentioned with a bunch of VIPs or VPs sitting in the actual meeting, okay, and literally put my name on a map, and now everyone knows who I am. I'm no longer this person sitting in the background, okay, all right. Everybody knows who I am now, so now attention is on me when big projects. I'm getting major projects now, because, you know, of that award. It felt amazing. Okay, never experienced anything like it. So I'm not saying it's not important. Okay, you might be comfortable being the guy in the background, which I always am, still am today. Okay, all right. I don't need recognition, but I'm gonna tell you guys, that type of recognition, there's no explanation of what it feels like. Okay, you're sitting back, it's like, man, you take that piece of paper and you hang it on your wall. Okay, especially if you work from home. All right, you want to see that. You earned that. It doesn't matter, how they see it. Other people probably just, get the email and just take that and take that award and just say fuck it and just throw it in the trash or whatever. And I mean the recycling bin, right? Because obviously it's going to be a digital PDF. Or someone like me who printed it out and framed it. Okay, that was important to me. Okay, nobody knew I had it on my wall. Nobody. Okay, I didn't put it behind me on the wall. So every time I'm in a conference call on video, that everyone saw the accomplishment. Okay, look how great I am. I don't do that. Okay, all right. Some people actually have behind them their certifications on the wall, and my certifications are on the wall. Okay, all right. As a matter of fact, let me show you my certifications. How I had my office before. Okay, this was during my CCNP days. Where is it? Yeah, I definitely got 1.5 1.7 terabytes of data. Okay, all right. And right now, I just found out how to get Google Drive to upload my data. Okay, matter of fact, let's see if it's still going. Yeah, it's still going, man. It's been going since yesterday. All right, and I mean like first thing in the morning yesterday around this time. Okay, so we are steadily. But there's TACAX videos. Okay, because of my training. All right. Okay. So where the hell was I going? What the hell was I looking for? Oh, my pictures. Okay, that might be back here. No. Let's go in here. Nope. Okay, do I have to do a search? I'm not blind, because I do not see it. No. Okay, I guess I gotta do a search, because I don't know where it's stored in my file structure there. Right? It tells you bring up file, it's funny. Come on, baby, come on. Now I wonder if this version of my data is before I put that folder in. Meaning I have to go through my Google Photos, and which I can't do now because there's personal photos on there. Pictures on there that nobody needs to be seeing, and it's not pornography. It's really just personal family stuff. And I mean family from the perspective of people or friends and stuff like that. You don't need to be seeing that from. First of all, I never asked for the permission, and why would I do that anyway? So I would never do that to you. No respect is being done to me. Having my picture blasted all over your YouTube channel. But nonetheless, okay, I had this desk. All right. You know what? I tell you what I can show you. I can show you. Okay, that's on my Google Drive. I can't go to that either because I got personal name documents. So nonetheless, I'm gonna have to find those, bring them down off of Google Drive, and do that, some other time. All right, now, okay, anything in life that you want, you can accomplish by the concept of doing things that you normally wouldn't do to achieve the things that you want to achieve. And you got to look at it from the perspective that, look, okay, I know who I am. I know I spend most of my time doing this and that, which doesn't help me at all. Okay, I have not watched football since Doug Williams played in the Super Bowl for the Redskins. Okay, some point in that year, something clicked in my head. Okay, I'm done with music. I'm done with sports. Okay, some of you people can never take the music and just shut it off. Okay, your priority is music. Okay, and you wonder why you can't get something else out of life. All right, because you never set it as a priority higher than your music. Okay, and music does not pay your bills. Okay, do you know what it is when you go out and you listen to their music? You're making them money. Okay, and that was my thought process. Okay, watching sports now. Look, don't get me wrong. I was heavy into basketball. Okay, that was my jump there. Okay, Clyde Drexler, Stockton Malone, Dominique Wilkins, Wilt Chamberlain, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Jordan. Okay, all right, Michael Jordan. All right, these are what's my other man's name? Charles Barkley. Okay, All right, these are names that, like Dominique Wilkins, that people are like, man, I haven't heard that name forever. All right, this is back in the day when we had our slam dunk competition, right? And Dominique Wilkins do some wild crap, yo. All right, but don't get it twisted. Jordan was also on that plane too. Okay, all right, this is what I would do, man. I was a basketball fanatic. All right, and let me tell you, all right, check this out. All right, my buddy and I would always play the EA Sports basketball game. I haven't done that in so long. I need to go back to doing that. Since now I started playing World of Warcraft again, which feels great, by the way. World of Warcraft or Blizzard allowed me to pay, okay, which I was going to do anyway once I got my first paycheck, to pay for my a monthly prescription with gold that I had in my game. That was cool as hell, man. Thank you, Blizzard. All right, that was unexpected. Okay, and at this moment, I still have to wait for me to get paid in order to pay for that service. So I got to play World of Warcraft this month, and it was great, man. It was great. Okay, all right, great. I'm actually doing my first mage, and that mage is powerful as God knows what. All right, and there's a long story about that particular mage. Because that was my first character when I started playing World of Warcraft the day it came out, okay, and I could not get that mage over level 20 because I just kept dying until I found the power of all power, the character that I was meant to be, which is a priest, okay, all right, and guess what my thing was? Supporting my crew, supporting my group, supporting my team. Okay? Alright? You're not dying. Alright? It's just not happening. Now you'll get angry because I'll let you get all the way down to almost death, and the next thing you know, bring you back up with flash heals. Okay? Very fast, very quick. On point. Right? You'll get angry because I let you get so low, but hey, I had other people to heal. Sorry. Alright? I didn't let you down. Sometimes you die. That's my bad. Alright? Every death makes me learn. Okay? Alright? I took the game seriously. Not so goddamn serious that, that I would talk in Elvish or stuff like that. I don't get that into anything. But it was great playing World of Warcraft again. Alright? So, I forgot what other game I was talking about, but I'll have to actually start doing that again when I get paid. But nonetheless, your priorities are set the way you set them. Okay? Alright? While I took everything that consumed my time, okay, and put it on the level of I'm done. Okay? All right, it's not making me money. It's not improving my life. It's not bettering who I am. Okay, all right. And still today, I don't listen to music. However, okay, through the health issues in the last couple of years, I've had starting to go back into getting into music. Okay, all right. And in my head, I have a rack terabytes of music numbers as far as the music that I know from back in the day. All right. New music I don't listen to. No, in fact, I don't even like it. It's not music to me, okay? It's not even, it's more of a putting on a show or bragging, okay? It's not even music to me, all right? I already listen to Dave Matthews Band, okay? All right? My Morning Jacket, something like that, way before I listened to Taylor Swift, okay? All right? It's not music to me. All right, and don't even get me started on rap music. That crap is horrible. All right, so don't get me wrong. There's still rap music today. A good rap song is a good rap song. You're just not, I don't give a shit how I have defaced or devalued rap music for decades. Okay, a good song, hell, trust me. All right, I'm going to be listening to that song on a regular. All right, if it's that good. Okay, so it goes hand in hand. But I don't listen to music. I listen to my thoughts. Okay, all right. Never are you going to see me driving down the road, okay, on a Monday, sitting in traffic, listening to music. What you're going to see me as, either I'm going to be listening to training videos, I'm going to be listening to, I can't remember the radio station, but it's talk radio the whole time. All right, they don't play music at all. Or else I'm going to be having my windows down, okay, listening to the traffic, listening to my thoughts throughout the ambient noise, okay, because that ambient noise gives me a sense of distraction what's out there, okay, giving me focus on my thoughts, and then eventually I can hear my thoughts, okay, all right. Hey, I'm a philosopher. That's what I do. I think. I've been thinking ever since I was a kid, all right. But you get the idea. That helps me. That improves me. That betters me. That makes me think about ways of bettering my position. All right, I can't tell you how many, like, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Why never I thought about that before? Okay, in the ways of increasing my income or bettering my career. All right. So, what I consider a mental disease is of you allowing a particular thought or a particular idea to poison the possibility of growth, all right, within your abilities and your potential. Interesting definition, huh? Okay, you'll find that my definition of words are a hell of a lot different than others, okay, because this is not a medical term, okay, this is what I see over life, and I literally call it a disease. The person that actually, like I was talking about in the other video about the pizza, okay, they can't go 1 second over the temperature of that pizza, or cook it 1 second longer, because it's not right. It's wrong. Okay, and it's still living their life as actions and consequences, which is what I taught my daughter. Okay, did my daughter learn it? No, she didn't, because her mother kept telling her, don't listen to your father. It's just not right. Okay, all right. There is right and wrong. Okay, and what she did was she had impounded her ideas and her beliefs into her daughter, making her daughter something else and killing her potential. All right. And remember, one of my rules of life: never affecting someone's timeline in a negative fashion. If I feel that you have the ability to make a choice, okay, in a negative fashion, okay, or give the potential of you making a choice that puts you on a different path that I would not see as positive, then I would just tell you, I don't know how to answer your question, or I have no idea. Okay, playing it safe. All right, but if I feel that this is a possibility of putting you on a good path by telling you, all right, the negative aspects of walking the wrong path, okay, all right, I'm good with it. But if there is a sense of not knowing what I don't know, then I cannot advise you. I just won't. Okay? And let me tell you something. All right? One of the mental diseases, besides having that pizza in there for another minute, okay? All right? All right? And and that's just wrong. The pizza's not right. Okay? All right? And you having it in there for 17 minutes when the director said 16, okay, you're wrong. Okay? You're wrong. You're out of control. All right? That's your problem, Kyle. That's why your life is the way it is. Okay, now direct attacks come in your way from your friends and family. All right? And I mean cruel ones. And you're just looking at them like, you really think your opinion really matters. If you want to be honest, it means nothing to me, because there's nothing in your life that I ask for. I don't come to you asking you for money. Okay, you come to me asking for money. All right? My bills are always paid. And you know what's funny? There's nothing going on in your life, okay, that I would discuss with you in a sense of saying, hey, Tell me how you do this, because your life is the life that I want to have. I want to be where you're at. So, you know what? Continue with your insights. Okay? Because all this is just showing you and me what I should have saw a long time ago. All right? And instead of ignoring and putting it aside, it just showed me your true character. And you know what's funny? I thank the Lord, okay, or the powers that be, however you want to see it, I thank them for showing me, okay, I'll give you the power to show me how ignorant, okay, and just vindictive you are. Because insulting me is nothing but your vindictiveness, okay, coming out. All right, and you know, and it's not about you making me feel better. Okay, it's about you trying to put me down, and you can't. You can't call me a loser because look at where I'm at. All right, you're not on my level. I'm not on your level. We're on two different levels, and your level is nothing I want to accomplish or achieve. Okay, all right, and not to mention the fact you're miserable with your life. I'm not. So why would your advice? Okay, and you're attacking me with insults shows me how you have always seen me. You know what? It's time for me to move on, champ. Alright? That's just the bottom line. Okay, it's time for me to make choices. Because, you know, I have never talked to you this way. Alright? Now, this is the thought process of why you're sitting in traffic. Okay? And you're questioning, man, I've known this guy for 15 years, man. Man, it wouldn't be right if I, you know, but you know what, man? Let's really be honest. Okay? It's just, you know, problems don't get better, man. They're just going to get worse. And you know what? You deserve better than that. It's time to let this man go. Alright? It's time to split ways. Alright, yeah, I know it's been 15 years, but you know what, man? You know, it just is what it is. Next thing you know, 2 months go by, and that person hasn't called you. Okay, 2.5 months go by, he calls you and say, hey, man, I haven't heard from you in a while. It took you 2.5 months? Okay, because you ain't got nothing going on. You don't even have a job. So there's nothing in your life that's actually, you know, distracting you for 2.5 months. It just shows you how you take things for granted. Oh man, I've been busy, blah, 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 okay. And it's like, hey man, it's good talking to you, I gotta run, okay. You know, we'll catch up later. I never said I was gonna call you. I just said, we'll catch up later. Or maybe, or I'll word it like, you know, hey, let's catch up later. Okay, because that's not me putting I'm going to catch up with you later perception. Hey man, I gotta run, man, let's catch up later because, you know, I'm not sure on a mission right now. I've got to go do this. Alright? Okay, he doesn't know what it is. Okay? And what I got to do is get off the phone. That's what I got to do. I got to, you know, I got to let you be. Alright? So that verbiage is something that I have used in the past to let that person go. Okay? When you find out that you're doing this on a regular basis, now you have to sit back and look at the situation from a perspective of what am I doing to be getting the same exact people in my life from the very beginning of my teenage years and constantly repeating this behavior. There's something I'm doing because at some point it ain't everybody else, it's me. So now you reflect and you start going back deep into your psyche. Remember things that you've long forgotten. Saying, you know what? I get it now. I know my fault in this. Okay, and now that growth begins because your next person that you bring into your life, you're going to make sure that everything that you've done that was stupid and that you allowed to happen is now set to an attribute of null. N-U-L-L. Okay? Now, the disease that I'm talking about, okay? Alright? And you understand that how, if you're new to our channel, this is the mindset of Kyle Martin. the concept of going off on a subject to eventually loop back to the original point that he made in the first place, okay? All right, every subject, every purpose, every point has a branch coming off of it, okay? And that branch leads to another branch, leads to another branch, leads to another branch, okay, to eventually circle around. 360 degrees. You can't have one without the other. You can't have the existence of that particular sense, desire, emotion without having the opposite. Okay, I can't go to a planet, okay, and define them as being good, okay, without explaining and giving them a definition of what bad is and showing them bad. Meaning that if I have to be a bad person to show them that they're good people, that's what I'm going to have to do. Okay, it's out of my character, but the means to the end, okay, gives them an appreciation of what the concept and definition of good means. Okay, you can't have one without the other. All right, this is the concept in the life that I have built within my head. All right, my realization in that philosophy. Okay, so the biggest disease on this planet is the inability, the incapableness of saying the words, I don't know. Okay? The other disease is trying to learn something and not going back and reviewing it. Because you see going back to review something is not moving forward. It's moving backwards, and you're wrong. Okay? Another disease. Seeing failure as the first step of trying. Let me rephrase that. Trying is the first step to failure. So you never try in the first place. And you don't know what choice to make, so you don't make one. And you don't understand that not making a choice is a choice in itself. And when this is brought to your attention, you purposely dismiss it. That is another disease. Two diseases in one. Okay? Taking failure, being so scared of failure, another disease. So scared of failure that you never pull the trigger. Okay? Have you ever realized you have a habit of starting something? Okay? You start something, you're aggressive, okay? You really start doing, getting it done. You're really into it, okay? And a week down the road, all right, you're done. You don't go any further. Okay? You haven't even learned the basics because, all right, you see that growth when you first start, that aggressiveness, okay, and that momentum slows down, all right, because that was just the beginning of your journey, all right? So when the chips are down on your roller coaster and you're at your lowest, you give up. Okay? Because you want to get back to that high level again, so you start something else. All right? You're running to stand still. You are always busy, okay, but never accomplishing anything. Have you ever met that person who's always busy but never getting a damn thing done? Another disease. Okay? All right? How do I define, me personally, the definition of discipline? Discipline is, in a nutshell, the concept and means and set of actions that you will accomplish, especially at the moment, the highest moment of not wanting to do it. So when you're at that point, it's like, man, I don't want to do that shit at all, but you do it anyway, that's discipline. Okay, I don't want to lift weights today, man. But you're working out 6 days a week. You have no motivation to lift. You're tired. Okay, you don't feel like it. All right, you have two choices. One, all right, take your ass to the gym and get halfway through your workout. Okay, or two, don't go to the gym at all. Blow it off. Okay, all right. I'd rather get halfway through my workout and fail, but succeed, because the worst failure is not going at all. Okay, thinking in my head, I don't have to make the choice, so I don't have to worry about it. But you made the choice of not making a choice. Okay, your priority was to not make a choice, not to do anything. That's not accomplishing your goal. Okay, I'm not a reader. Okay, now you will beg to differ when you see my book library, okay, and see a book in my hand, but it's only technical books. Okay, it's only technical books. All right, and that even goes with the Haynes books. All right, for the mechanics use. If I'm going to replace something in my car, and I've done it before, I'm going to use that guideline. But even Haynes don't tell you how to do things step by step. It's a guideline. It's a reference book. Okay. However, this title that you see on the screen as of today, okay, this was just a general meeting that the director of the IT was having with all of us, the entire team. Okay. All right, and this was a large project and a very aggressive, where we had to change one change per night. Okay, that's unheard of. All right, okay, no change control, unheard of. Okay, that was a timeline. They were so out of compliance. Okay, that it was crucially important to put them in compliance before a particular due date when the re-auditing happened, and we were doing a network refresh. Okay, side by side, setting the new network right next to the old network, and demoing the old network. Okay, so when you have an environment where there's 120 closets, okay, yeah, we're going to do a change tonight. We're going to get this crap done. All right, we don't have time for change control. We don't have time for any of that. And that's what the director did. He went through and pitched this idea, okay, that we're going to eliminate this. Once we get the last closet done, okay, we will go back to normal change control procedures. But this is not a change. This is a build. So change control is not necessary. We're not changing anything on the existing network, so why have change control? Okay, all right, and his verbiage was great. Okay, the way he explained it, and he was accurate. Okay, giving him the power to be able to succeed to eliminate change control. Okay, change control on this particular project with one change a night, okay, is detrimental, especially when you're only having change control reviews or peer reviews, okay, once a week, as far as taking the change requests to the power of the B, right? We got time for that. By the time we got one change approved, we could have 5 clauses done that week. Does that make sense? Okay, but that's his job, not mine. And he was standing up there talking about what he had to go through to do the things that give us the power to do the job. Okay, all right, but have no illusions. There's still compliances that we must be within. And he writes all the compliances, the most important, that we need to have in the back of our heads. And he says, okay, guys, none of this is simple. Okay, some of you are junior guys, some of you have never been in the networking field before, but you're not just a seat filler. Okay, you're here for a purpose. Somehow, some shape or form, with no experience, you were hired on his team. Okay, we have senior lines. Okay, we got Colin over here, we got this person, we got this person, we got this person. These are people to guide you, okay, on your path. Okay, and you can learn so much here that this can set your path in a networking field for life. Okay, desktop, the desktop people who are working on the desktop, same thing. Okay, this is the beginning. This is the opportunity that nobody gets. Okay, all right, and if you believe that okay, you are capable to remember things, okay, because you've done it 100 times. I want to bring something to your attention. Have you ever read the book, okay, The Checklist Manifesto? He goes, I strongly recommend you read this book. Now, I'm not a book reader, but guess who's the only person who bought that book? He gave me a recommendation. I'm not going to just not do it, okay? All right? For some reason, particular book, he wanted it in our hands from a perspective that, you know, this is his expectations that he's expecting from us. Okay? All right? So, yeah, I took it seriously. I went out and I purchased a book with my own money. Okay? All right? And the physical book. All right? It looks just like this. All right? And I went through and I read that book halfway through. And I got the message way before halfway through. Okay? And then I finished the book. All right? But it's the... Yeah, and it did change my behavior. Okay? Because it's a concept that creating your own processes, which I've always done, I just never took it as means of a necessity until after reading this book. Okay, 10 years later, okay, you know, I still follow these guidelines. All right, in order to be the precision architect, okay, and I mean architect from a surgical position or perspective. Okay, let's say you go to the shooting range and someone challenges you to a shooting contest. Okay, all right, and you hit the bullseye with a quickness and a speed that is no other. Okay, and your comment is, hey boy, don't mess with me when it comes to shooting, you know, 1911, boy, because I'm surgical with this motherfucker. Okay, all right, that surgicalness is that preciseness. All right. We can't get this way without having a checklist. Think about a pilot, and it's in this book. Okay, think about a doctor or a pilot. They're able to do the things they do, okay, because of that checklist. If it wasn't for that checklist, I wouldn't have been diagnosed with heart failure. I wouldn't be able to talk to you at this moment, because somewhere down the line, someone would have missed, okay, this person is complaining about this. Let's go through our checklist and check every box and run every test. Okay, all right, and do what we should be doing in this particular scenario. Follow these processes every time. You might know them by heart, but it doesn't matter. You still go through the checklist. Okay, all right. So, first thing we do. All right, we got all these things we got to do as an engineer. So we create our own process. Okay? All right. Now, okay, I got this project. Let's start from scratch. What's my checklist? A checklist. Find out what technology we're going to be using. All right, that's number one. 2, read best practices. I don't care if I read it 1,000 times. Read best practices on the design of this of campus design, since we're on the campus, from Cisco. Okay, and write down any notes that you know you have forgotten over a period of time. Oh shit, I forgot about that. I wish I would have done that on the last project, right? So now you write it down as a means of a checklist. Make sure you do this. It's added to your checklist. Okay, all right, and this checklist is something that you have saved in your documentation. Matter of fact, you even have a backup of that documentation on a flash drive, sitting in one of your drawers. Okay, all right, you never lose it. Okay, you make sure that you got a RAID setup, RAID 10, so 2 hard drives have to fail. Make sure you don't lose any of your data. Okay, it's that important. All right, this is the power that you'll never lose. Okay, every time a pilot takes off, they go through a checklist. They know that checklist by heart, but they're not going to rely on their memory. That's why I don't use calculators. I don't do math on paper. And if I want to do the math on paper, it is always backed up with a calculator. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to review and had the wrong CIDR notation, the wrong mask on my subnet because, all right, I did it on paper. So I do it on paper, and I go back and I check it with a calculator. There's no shame in this. There's no shame of having a checklist. There's no shame. But in your diseased mind, you see it as a weakness when it's the biggest strength ever. You don't want nobody to know you have a checklist and babyfying your processes. Okay? All right? I've known people that won't create a grocery list. Okay? And I kid you not. And you know why? They see it as a sense of control. Now, I don't know what planet you came from, okay, but it definitely is not Earth. Okay? I don't even think it's Milky Way thought process. And I'm not even kidding. Where the hell did that come from? Okay? And you're looking at it as if you saw the most strangest and awkward alien that you ever come across in your life. Consider the fact that you never came across an alien is one of the most awkward things in itself. Yeah, I'm not kidding, guys. I've met some interesting characters, and so have you. You just never gave it that much thought process on their psyche because you're too worried about, man, I'm not even listening to that bullshit. And you just move on. All right? And you turn your music on. So it's never really a thought process. Okay? Where somebody else would say, I'll make sure I never become that person. I've never heard of anything. And you analyze this type of behavior and this thought process for, months down the road to try to get a concept of understanding where that person's thought process comes from. Okay? And you just realize that there's no answer to it. That person is just miserable. That person just is not happy unless they're unhappy. Okay? So they create obstacles, scenarios, and situations that just don't exist. And those are their excuses on why they can't succeed and why they can't do the things they want to do. Order the checklist manifesto. Okay? It changed my life. Not saying it's going to change yours, but it'll give you a perspective that, and I mean it will give you a perspective that writing a process and having a checklist is nothing to be ashamed of, okay? As a matter of fact, it is a strength and not a weakness. Ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor. Be strong. Be determined. Be Cisco.